What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and third stimulus package update. As the Senate has passed the third stimulus check package bill, the bill is now at the U.S. House of Representatives on the floor of the U.S. House. And we are going to get an update directly from the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, on the status of the third stimulus check package and what to expect going forward. We're actually going to jump right in. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the third stimulus check package, as well as the next stimulus package coming called the Build Back Better package. As well as after this bill passes, we will likely have a lot of movement on the $10,000 of student loan forgiveness. They actually put a provision in this third stimulus check package that actually says that it will not count as taxable income when they forgive student loans in the future for the next 5 years. So this third stimulus check package actually has a provision in there setting it up for the student loan forgiveness in the future. The student loan forgiveness is not in this bill. We're expected to see multiple different things after this third stimulus check package, kind of the dust settles. $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, the possible $200 per month Social Security increase, and 20% increase for people, for widows and widowers, and 5% for people that have been on Social Security for over 20 years. That was what President Biden campaigned on. He also campaigned on a $15,000 home buyer credit, as well as the next stimulus package coming after this called the Build Back Better package. So don't forget to hit the like button. We'll be covering all that stuff in the future, as well as the details on the third stimulus check package here in the next several videos. All right, here we go. U.S. House of Representatives House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the person in charge of the House of Representatives and the vote.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. The Rules Committee just finished its work, and now we'll make preparation for bringing this important American Rescue Plan to the floor of the House. It is so exciting, as you know, because of what it does. Vaccines in the arms of the American people, money in their pockets, children safely in school, workers safely back to work. It's a remarkable, historic, transformative piece of legislation which goes a very long way to crushing the virus and solving our economic crisis. It's interesting to me to see what I'm hearing on the floor during the PRO Act debate, how the Republicans are talking about their tax scam, $1.9 trillion in their tax scam, 83% of the benefits to the top 1%, and this bill, same amount of money, $1.9 trillion, overwhelmingly helping America's working families. You'll hear more about that from our colleagues as the next couple of days go by. But I just wanted to join members of our top leadership in just giving you an update as to where we are and that the Rules Committee has finished its work. Its work on something that in the 33 years that I have been in Congress and up until now, the Affordable Care Act has been the most consequential legislation that I have been a part of. This is definitely on a par with that, if not to exceed it in terms of its impact on many more poor people in our country. With that, I'm pleased to yield to our distinguished Democratic leader who knows more about this schedule than any of us for any other information or any bragging rights about this important legislation. It's not only provisions, it's pieces of bills. Mr. Richie Neal has about $1 trillion in money in people's pockets, right? And including the pension piece of it, which is a piece of legislation that went a long way to meet the needs of so many people in our country. But that just another example. Barbara Lee talked this morning about the equity piece and how this legislation addresses the inequality of how health care and the vaccine and all the rest would be distributed, a piece of legislation she and others had put together. In any event, all of it excellent, all of it fair, all of it an opportunity for us to grow the economy by investing in the people, for the people. And I might say, for our Republican colleagues who, they say no to the vote and they show up at the ribbon cuttings or the presentations. With that, I yield to Mr. Hoyer.
Boy, oh boy. I was president of the Senate back in 1870 in the state of Maryland, and people would rush up to me and say, I need this in the budget, I need this in the budget, and because it was a unified document, it wasn't like an appropriation bills. And okay, well, let's see if we can do that. So it's in the budget. And then, of course, they vote no. I said, well, why'd you vote no? I said, well, I couldn't vote for the budget. I said, but you asked me to put something in there. Well, yeah, you did, and I appreciate that, but I can't vote for this. So, yes, they'll be at the ribbon cuttings. They'll be there saying the schools are open, kids are in school. Isn't that great? Yes, it is great. $130 billion later in this bill, and they voted against it.
So what Nancy Pelosi and House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer are saying there is that the Republicans are going to vote no on this bill in the House, as they did in the Senate. Every single Republican voted no on this third stimulus check package bill, and that every single Republican in the House voted no when it was at the House and it passed the first time. Of course, it's passed the Senate, but it's an amended bill. They've changed it. So now it goes back to the House because they have to say yes on the same bill, okay? So what they're saying is that the Republicans are going to vote no, and yet they're going to take some of the credit for passing the bill. When the bill passes and money goes to schools, money goes to people, money goes to unemployment, money goes out to stimulus checks, money goes out to the $3,600 child income tax credits, which are going to be paid on monthly amounts of $250 to $300 per month. That basically the Republicans are going to vote no, but yet they're going to try to take some of the credits when this bill passes. Man, that's an interesting thing to see. We'll have to see if that happens at all. But the weird thing is that 5 stimulus packages have been passed to this point. Okay, this will be the third one with a check. There were some other minor bills in there. The larger bills had checks. This will be the third stimulus check, and this is the largest one yet. There were some minor bills in there that had smaller stuff, like another round for PPP for small businesses and vaccines and distributions and stuff like that. Is that we've passed 5 bills already. This will be the 6th bill, but this is the only bill that Republicans that aren't voting for. In the past, all 5 of the bills were bipartisan support, and now all of a sudden that it's not a Republican president or a Republican senator, Republican Senate in control, and then now we're not going to get a single Republican to vote on the bill, and it's. I mean, come on, things aren't that different from the past 5 packages. Now, all of a sudden, there's not a single Republican that's going to vote for the bill. So it's either that the Republicans feel strong-armed, that the Democrats are basically pushing this through with or without them. But really, the Republican counter proposals of $600 billion was less than 1/3 the size of this package, had much smaller stimulus checks in there, and didn't have unemployment money and money for schools or hardly anything else. So, I mean, it wasn't really a realistic counter proposal that President Biden and the Democrats would have considered. I mean, less than 1/3 of the cost. So either the Republicans feel like they've been strong armed by the Democrats, or they're just not happy with the Democrats being in control. And they're basically, Chuck Schumer said, the Senate Majority Leader, that they're sitting back with their arms saying, I'm not going to vote for anything. And well, he said that happened when Obama won the presidency too. The first couple votes from the Republicans, they just basically sat out and said no to everything, and then eventually they warmed up. I mean, when you're president for 4 years, it's kind of a long thing. Eventually, they'll come around. It'll have to be interesting to see how fast it'll happen. But let me know if you think Republicans are doing this just because we have a Democratic Senate and presidency now, or do you think they're doing it because they really feel strong-armed by the Democrats? But Chuck Schumer says that they're going to continue to pass more bills and stimulus package bills and all sorts of relief going forward, and that Republicans better jump on board because they'll just continue to pass bills without their support if need be.
People have jobs. Small businesses are open. Vaccines are getting in arms. And they'll say, isn't that great? And they'll be at the vaccine delivery point. but they won't have voted for this bill. But let there be no mistake. This is not an unusual performance for our Republican colleagues. Nancy and I and Rich and Jim Clyburn have been here. I don't think you were here in 2009. Well, you were here in 2009, okay. Zero. A bill that Bernanke said would keep us out of a depression. Ben Bernanke, respected by all sides. This bill is, I agree with the Speaker, we all worked on the Affordable Health Care bill, and the Affordable Care Act was an extraordinary piece of legislation. It took a long time for the American people to understand how much value it was to them and their families, but they've done that now. And they will certainly didn't take the time on this bill, however, where we have over 70% of the American people who think this bill ought to be passed.
Speaking of the Affordable Care Act, I went over in the last video. Make sure to watch that if you haven't yet. A lot of details how basically anybody who gets health insurance from the government through the Affordable Care Act or through healthcare.gov, if you're middle to low income, you're probably going to not have to pay as much. And there's going to be more people that basically get their health care paid for completely by the government based on the changes in this third stimulus check package. So they're actually expanding the coverage, and they're also reducing the premiums for a lot of different income groups and different people from this third stimulus check package. So a lot of people will be paying less on their health care now, and some people will actually be paying zero now that do pay right now. So that's kind of another what we call buckets of money in this package. So if you get health care from the government and you pay for it right now, you literally might be saving hundreds or thousands of dollars on that once they pass this third stimulus check package. Watch the video right before this. If you haven't yet, I go over a lot more details on that. So they kind of talk for a while in that. So let me just kind of give you the skinny on where they're at with the bill. So apparently the Senate delayed getting the bill to them, and the Senate passed the bill, and then they have to send it over to the House. Apparently that took longer than normal. So basically the House had to vote on the rules and the preparations today, which apparently they have done. So the rules and the preparation is now done on the U.S. House of Representatives. There's two things that's going to happen. Number one is they're going to either vote tonight, and the reason I say that is because the last two times it was passed, the House and the Senate literally voted all night long, went through the amendment process, and literally kept the senators and the House of Representatives up until the wee hours of the morning and then passed it. The Senate actually was up for over 24 hours, and they passed it at like 6 in the morning or something like that. And the House passed theirs at 2 in the morning. Eastern Standard Time. So they literally voted all night long. So I don't want to rule out that they're not going to try to vote on this bill tonight. Okay, Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, says that worst case scenario, they're going to be voting on this bill in the morning. So it's kind of really up in the air whether they're going to vote on it tonight or in the morning. Nancy Pelosi says worst case scenario, they will be voting on this in the morning. Now remember that they have the slimmest of slim margins. So there's several different things that need to happen to actually pass this bill. And number one is that they have to pass the bill. What we're expecting is not a single Republican will vote yes. It is what it is. And the Democrats have the lead, 221 to 211. They have a 10-vote lead, okay? That means that they can only have 4 Democrats vote no on this bill. Last time around, they had 2 Democrats vote no. But the problem with that is that they have now changed the bill significantly. They have taken out the $15 minimum wage, although they were pretty much forced to do that by the Senate parliamentarian. And also there was not enough support to pass it in the Senate. They've also reduced the stimulus check income requirements so that only people making up to $80,000 a year, or double that for a couple, will be getting a stimulus check this time around. That's apparently up to 15 million people that are not going to get the stimulus check this time around. And this is the largest stimulus check yet $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for all your children, and $1,400 for adult dependents, including college students and, well, adult dependents that are claimed on somebody's tax return as a dependent. Okay, but any dependents, whether adult dependents, college students, or children, the checks for the dependents go to the person that claims them as a dependent. So the average family of four will receive 4 stimulus checks times $1,400 or $5,600. There's no limit on kids. So literally, if you have 10 kids and you get 10 stimulus checks, you're looking at $14,000. Not everybody has 10 kids, but there are people out there that have 10 kids. So there's no limit on the stimulus checks based on that. Basically, if you have a social security number and you're below the income requirements of $75,000 to $80,000 for an individual, you will be getting a $1,400 stimulus check, and everybody in your family will be also. Again, as long as they have a social security number and they fall below the income requirements. So that's everybody on Social Security, SSI, SSDI. Again, if you have a Social Security number and you make below $75,000 to $80,000, you will be getting a stimulus check. Double that for a couple. If you make between 75 and 80, you'll be getting a reduced stimulus check. Also, there's the $3,000 to $3,600 child income tax credit. Okay, this is in addition to the $1,400 stimulus checks, and children under the age of 6 are going to get $3,600. So the $3,600 plus the $1,400 is literally $5,000 for children under the age of 6. Children over the age of 6 are going to get $3,000. So $3,000 plus the $1,400 is $4,400. Now, the child income tax credit, this has been around for a while. President Donald Trump raised it to $2,000. His daughter, Ivanka Trump, she did a lot of campaigning for it. It was previously, before that, as low as $500. It was $2,000 raised by former President Donald Trump. Now President Biden is raising it again in this third stimulus check package to $3,000 to $3,600 per child. President Biden also says that he's in favor of extending this more than just 1 year, and they're setting up a new program to basically give this money in the form of monthly stimulus checks, $250 to $300 per month per child, but it will likely start in July because the IRS and the Treasury Department are going to have to set up an entirely new system to send these checks out to families. So I will be keeping you guys updated on that, as well as when they vote, when they pass it, when the president gets it on his desk. It's possible it could happen tonight. Worst case scenario, Nancy Pelosi says it will happen in the morning. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. Share this video with your family and friends. There's a share button down below also, so that they know about the third stimulus check, when to expect the checks, when it gets signed into law. I'll be keeping you updated. Hopefully there's no delays. Last time we had delays with TurboTax and Tax Act and all those different things. So I'll be helping you guys with that going forward, as well as the next stimulus check package, the Social Security increase coming in the future, possibly the possible $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, $15,000 home buyer credit, and the next stimulus package. I'll be keeping you up to date on all these things. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. And me and my wife sell products on Amazon. So click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.